Unfortunately or fortunately, it is back to school season again. It's crazy how time flies. Anyways, this is the first year that I'm not going back to school. It's really weird. I don't know how to feel about it. On one hand, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna kind of miss it. On the other hand, I'm really glad I don't have to do exams or midterms anymore. So that is amazing. But if you are going back to school this year, I'm gonna show you the simplest, easiest, but most snatching and gorge makeup look that you can do every single day for school. And because it's quick and easy, you don't have to worry about spending too much time on your makeup. So if you have to catch a bus or you have to make it to that 8 a.m. class, you can still do that while looking fabulous. Come, let me show you. Okay, first things first is we're gonna do some primer because we've all been victims to school air. So it's super important to prime your face properly so your makeup lasts the day, so you don't go looking snatched at 8 a.m. and by 4 p.m. you're looking a little bit run down. So I'm going to use the NYX Face Glue Primer, very on brand for today's makeup video, and just get a good amount onto my hand. Of course, before you put on primer, make sure to put your skincare on, sunscreen, very, very important. Just put on your primer. Primer is a non-negotiable. You need primer if you want your makeup to look good the whole entire day. It is a must. Okay, and this is a drugstore brand, so it's not even expensive and pretty affordable, and it works really well. Now give it a few minutes for the primer to get absorbed into your skin, and in the meantime put on some Vaseline or lip balm or whatever you like to put on your lips that keeps them moisturized, because you're gonna want to do a little bit of lip prep before you put on a lip gloss. Okay, after you've given it a few minutes, you can move on to the next step. Now this step is completely optional. If you feel confident in your skin or you don't want to wear foundation, you don't have to, because you're gonna be at school all day. You really don't need to do this step. But if you have a bit of acne or you're not comfortable having bare skin, foundation is gonna be your best friend. So I'm using the Airbrush Flawless Foundation shade 5.5 Neutral, and I'm gonna use very, very little because you don't want to feel cakey or greasy or feel overstimulated because you have all of this product on your skin sitting there all day through classes and stuff. So I'm gonna put a little bit of foundation on. Just gonna do a few drops. You can barely even see it until I spread it. And then just blend it with your brush. Or if you prefer Beauty Blender, that's fine too. But you're gonna do such a light coat that you can still see your skin underneath, but it kind of takes away that redness or, the acne marks. And you can slowly add in a little bit more if you think it's not enough coverage, or you think you wanna, just add a little bit more product. But it's easier to add more product than take it off. So just start off with the least amount possible and then add more as you go. I'm gonna add a little bit more in areas where I think I need a little bit more coverage, just a few drops, and leave it at that, and not add too much all over my face, basically, just in the areas right here, and a little bit here where I think I need more coverage. Then blend it out. Right now, I barely feel like I'm wearing any foundation. I don't feel it on my skin. And in a couple of hours, I should be feeling the same way. Okay, now we're gonna go in with concealer. I'm going with the Sephora brand, shade Custard, and I'm gonna put very, very little on, just enough to brighten your under eye without seeming cakey. A little bit here, and a little bit on the end, and a little bit in other areas like your nose, and a little bit on top of your eyelid as well. Just because I personally have darker eyelids and I want it to be brightened a little bit more. And then I'm going in with the concealer brush and just blending that downwards at first and then up. Down and swoop it up. And then same on the other side. And if you have spots that are extra red, or you know, you have acne, you can put a little bit of concealer in those areas as well to brighten it up. There, you can't like, it looks like very natural, and that's exactly what we're going for. Next up, contour. Okay, again, less is more. So we're just gonna put it in certain areas we want to make completely snatchy. Just kidding. So a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, some on your forehead, you know, to give you that bit of a bronzy look, like you just came back from summer vacation and you spent the summer in Europe and not in your same old town all day rotting on the couch. A little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. You're gonna look like you had the most exciting summer ever, way better than everybody else in your class, even though that you never left the country. But they don't need to know that, and that's okay. We're gonna blend the F out of this. Blend. So you can look at a drawing now. And then blend this as well. You know what I hate about like going into college like the first year or second year for me, because I was like a COVID grad, every single time like it's the same exact conversation I have with people, like, what's your name, what's your major, blah blah blah, what year are you in? Oh my gosh, I was so sick of it by the end. And I know like that's how you're supposed to get to know people, but it just felt like it was never progressing further than that for conversations. It's like, oh wow, cool, where are you from? But anyways, hopefully your professors don't make you do like, or like even in high school, hopefully they don't make you do like icebreakers, like get to know your classmates. It is the worst. And we're gonna blend out this contour with a smaller brush. Blend. This feels like I'm painting. And this will give you the most snatched nose, make you have the skinniest snatched nose ever. Ever. Nose job where? Where? Everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, did you have a nose job? And you'll be like, yeah, no. That's just me naturally, because I learned how to contour my nose. So that's what you're gonna do. Boom. Where's my nose? I can't even see her. Can't even see her. Where's she? Moving on. Next step. Okay, now you're gonna use a very subtle pinkish blush. Nothing too harsh, nothing too like boom, bold out there. So I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty blush in Courage, and I'm gonna put the tiniest little dollop. Right here on the top of your cheekbone, and right here on the top of your other cheekbone, and a little bit on your nose, so it looks, you know, you look like you're sun-kissed, like you spent all of your summer in France, you know, getting a nice cute sunburn, and you just got off a plane, and now you're in class at 8 a.m. And then you're gonna blend it upwards, upward streaks, upwards. Not to bring it down here, because you wanna look snatched, so swipe it upwards. And then do the same on the other side. And so you have very little blush on, so you look a little bit pink and not like a clown. Yeah. And a little bit on your nose, just blend it out. Bam. So this brings a little bit of color to your face without making you look, you know, a little bit too red. Like instead of, you know, getting sun-kissed in France, you got crisped and burned in your backyard. So, see the difference? The vibe, the aesthetic that we're going for? Okay. Now eyebrows are next, and they're a very, 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 very important part. Because even if the rest of your makeup gets smudged off or doesn't last, your eyebrows should last. You should not be going and having crazy wonky eyebrows like I did when I was in high school. So we're gonna really focus on eyebrows. Okay, first step is brush them. Brush them upwards and out. Okay, so that way they're not looking untamed as mine did back in the day. Oh, see, what is this? We gotta brush it up. Okay, now once you brush your eyebrows and you're like, okay, they're looking decent, they're at a good place, you're gonna gel them back, okay? Slick them back. And you don't want to put too much gel on, because then they'll start flaking, or they'll start looking, they'll start looking laminated backwards. So just a good amount, okay? Now let it dry. Now, depending on your eyebrow situation and how much of the eyebrows you have, if your eyebrows are really light or they're like kind of non-existent, you're gonna have to do a little bit more shading. Versus if you have, certain patches that have no hair, then you're just gonna fill those in. Or if you have like dark eyebrows like mine, you're just gonna emphasize it a little bit more. So you're gonna go in and just do little streaks, just fill in a little bit of color so they're a bit darker and bolder and a little bit more popping. But you don't want to color it in and create 2 blocks on your forehead and make it look like you just colored it in with a Sharpie, because that's not what we're going for. You have to do streaks and streaks, and don't do it too much so it looks unnatural, because that's not what we're going for. This whole look is to look natural. Like, oh my gosh, yes, I just woke up and rolled out of bed for my 8 a.m. class just like this. Yes, right? So that's what I'm gonna do for my eyebrows. So just a little bit of extra color to help them, and that's it. Okay, now for most people in most situations, you're not gonna have time to do a full eyeshadow beat. I know in 2016, teenagers were very ambitious and we did that. I don't know how, I never did that, I was too lazy, but I saw people do that and I was like, dang, that's really cool. I don't have the patience to do that. But most times you will not have either the patience or just the energy in the morning to do a full eye beat and put on eyeshadow. So your mascara is gonna have to put in a lot of extra work. Okay, so you're gonna do a lot of mascara, but not too much where it looks, clumpy. So I'm going with the Ilia mascara, and this is a very important step because this is the only thing that is gonna make your eyes pop. That and the concealer that you put on. So just go in and lightly, not too much product on your wand, just lightly an upward streak on your lashes. Just slowly and extend it upwards. You can also curl your lashes before this step. I've never used a curling eyelash thing before, and I'm too scared to, so I'm not gonna do that. But if you are brave and unlike me, then go for it. I would recommend doing that at this step before mascara. Okay, now keep going. Literally, you're gonna do layers and layers and layers until you're happy with the way your eyelashes are looking. And by doing little by little, it prevents clumping. And do you see how spread out my lashes are? Yeah, that's what we're going for. And then at the end, you could do a little bit of shake, 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 extend, shake, shake, extend. Now it's up to you and your eye shape, whether or not you want to do some on the bottom. I normally don't, but I might do a little bit. There. Do you see the difference? Cute. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. I've done both eyes. Now for lips, your lips should be moisturized and hydrated at this point because you did put on lip balm and Vaseline at the very beginning. You see? Planning and prep helps. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with like a nudie / like pinkish lip to finish this look off. So I'm going with the e.l.f. lip oil in the shade Honey Talks. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on my lips. Voila. Now this is like the most basic makeup look ever. You can add more things to it if you have more time that morning. Like you can add eyeliner, you can add lip liner, you can add all these things, but for every single day, this is like the easiest makeup look ever. And also it lets you look really good. It really accentuates like your natural features, like your eyes, your lips, and it makes you look amazing and great and fabulous, and then you can go to school and not worry about like, is my makeup gonna last all day long, or is this gonna look okay for X and Y Z occasion, because you can do it for every single day and it'll look amazing. And this makeup looks good on literally every single person. Even if you have like different features than me, it doesn't matter because it will literally adjust to your features. It'll look amazing. Okay, now this is the last step. Make sure you put on setting spray, but this is the last step. And I would honestly say the most important step to making sure your makeup lasts all day long and you don't end up looking greasy and becoming a victim to school air. And that is powder. Okay, so you're gonna grab a little puff. Mine's from Sephora, and a little powder. Mine's from like the Sephora brand again. And just dab a little bit and put some under your eye, in your under eye area. Okay, I like to honestly put it all over my face because I get really shiny and greasy. So if you have dry skin and if you're not really shiny, you don't have to put it all over your face and just in areas that you need. But I honestly recommend putting it everywhere because you're gonna get greasy throughout the day. You're gonna get shiny. And so to avoid that and make sure your makeup lasts, powder it up. Especially like your most greasy areas. Like for me, it's my forehead, my chin. So I like to put on a good amount of powder in those areas and really dab it on. And make sure that I'm not looking shiny. Because even if you're not greasy and you're just shiny, it doesn't matter because you're still gonna look greasy. So, and don't forget to like put some down on your neck as well. It's important. Alright, and here is the final look.